Yeah, even with those boots of speed on the Tusk, you gotta be careful about just running away from a Wind Ranger. Remember, it has the kill shot facets, so always in danger of just being caught out there by the ranged Culling Blade, effectively. Oh, that's a big kill, though.
Okay, I was looking top.
Me too.
Interesting that he died this early. He doesn't have Shadow Word to heal himself up, but there's also no Ice Shards or anything, so it must have walked out a little bit too far. Gabby is here as well, with a little bit of harass onto the dire side, but it is a double melee against Warlock. Normally, double melee should really struggle in that lane.
Normally, and maybe that's why Cuckoo got so aggressive, you know, making sure that while they were in the lane, they were going to try and punish them as much as possible, and just stepped a little bit too far forward. I think it was, what, God's Rebuke plus Tag Team plus Blood Grenade that was used, and ended up getting him picked off.
Yeah, and currently, that is, of course, a nice first blood being secured. Ken in mid, doing a decent job here. Well, more than decent job against RML Puck. 9 last hits against 3. Yeah, RML not having as free of a time as he did last game. Storm Spirit, of course, very solid attack animation, and doesn't have to necessarily be next to the creeps to get those last hits compared to the Ember Spirit, who, yeah, it just didn't work out as well as he'd like. I do still like that Storm Spirit a lot more, especially for the early mid game, and once you get BKB, you do have kind of a free game for the Storm until Puck gets 25.
Absolutely, you know, like, it's just a matter of how quickly can you get into that. Do you have the heroes to be able to play with to be able to get into that? That's the real issue. And last game, Ken just didn't have that with his Ember Spirit, only playing together with a Skywrath Mage. Underlord not really providing that real aggressive potential, but you compare like what a Tusk is going to be able to provide this game. Complete night and day difference, you know? Can get in there, can get that quick burst in. Even TA, you know? A couple of quick melt strikes, that's able to confirm the kills that he's able to pick up. So honestly, keen to see what Kato's build is going to be as well. Like, he's going just the power treads for now, of course. Will it be a casual Blightstone? Will it be, you know, a Blink Dagger early on, just trying to make the most of this early game? Or is he going to try and outscale off the back of the side blades and really flash farm?
Yeah, the one big thing that they do have as well is that with the TA you will have objective damage, towers, Roche, Tormentor very easily. Like, the biggest thing is the fact that you can solo Tormentor, which not too many heroes can do anymore. So you can always just have your team fight, head in a different direction, go for a gank squad, you in the top lane, clear out the Tormentor, and just walk away with a free 2,000 net worth swing for your team. And that's why I also like still bristlebacks and stuff. Just heroes that can get the solo play going in. Shackle shot onto DE. Skywrath Mage a lot of damage. That's slow.
Look how slow.
He's not even moving, and that is about the fastest hero in the game.
Yeah, kind of crazy that they're able to lock into. But again, the ability just to be able to proc that Cinder Brew from afar, and, well, off the back of that, now you've got the Urn of Shadows. So you just want to try and make that happen one more time. Or die, but, you know, obviously one's more preferable than the other to get the single charge into it so that any future attempts are just so much more viable. Very deep here on Kato, honestly.
Yeah,
what is he doing?
Interesting position to stand in. They do have the Cinder Brew, so they easily get rid of the refraction charges, but Brewmaster doesn't want to miss any of the last hits underneath the tower, and felt like Kato would be just fine.
Very sniped by Drick, so nicely done to be able to disrupt Gabby a little bit. He has gone the casual Orb of Blight just for a little bit more of this poke damage going up against the Mars, but of course full magic wand, so not going to really be suffering in too big of a way. Hopefully Drick can at least get into the magic stick for himself just to provide him that little bit of extra utility. Of course, doesn't really have the luxury of going these, like, you know, items. You just want to try and get as much value as possible. So stick, Windlace, maybe Tranquils, or it might even just stick with it, to be honest.
Yeah, the Kato is looking like he's getting a lot of solid farm in the top lane. Ken's also still doing a decent job for IVORY. Peter struggling a little bit in that bottom lane, but that's not too surprising, especially now that the Tusk has left his lane for quite some time. trying to get some farm or experience
Okay.
in the mid lane. While Storm is
little
farming
low
up the
here.
jungle.
Has to be a little careful. Will he go for the long-range shot on DJ? He's going to back off. He prefers the sure thing. The experienced god. But, not so sure about some of these timings, like Ken rotating back right as the power runes are about to spawn. So it's going to be helped out a little bit here by T-Heat just being next to it. But Armel, as a result of that, just ends up bottling a rune. It's against a level 2.
Ooh, that sidestep was nice. Jump in, silence onto Armel, and the puck is dead. Snowball chase onto DJ immediately. Can they catch up? Zip forward, and there is Ken with the slows coming in. Power shot not going to connect again. Drake with the dodge. Kill gets secured. Double kill for Ken, and that was too deep there from the Radiant side.
Understandable why he wanted to go for it though, right? Arcane Rune onto a level 2 Tusk. Maybe just not respecting the Skywrath Mage enough. That Ancient Seal was really the death of him. And good movement coming through from T here, especially considering there was no downside for Kato on this top side as well. He was just happily sitting back, farming, getting into his next item, which will be a Dragon Lance, so just wants to keep a little bit of that spacing, particularly away from the Brewmaster, I would imagine.
Yeah. It's, the Brewmaster is the one that is going to be making up so much space. Is not really getting hampered too much in his farm, but of course is normally a Radiance builder, which I still expect to come into play, especially playing against the Templar Assassin. It's going to be kind of a necessity to get rid of those pesky refraction charges later down the line. Some Brewmasters in the previous patch, before it got nerfed significantly, did go for that like Helm with the Dominator Brewmaster build. But it seems that they have completely abandoned that one.
Liking these rotations up top, Brew's level 6, he's got the urn, no charges in it yet, but they just want to try and take this tower as quickly as possible, not even needing to drop the rock to be able to do it, so this will be a nice win for Playtime if they're able to do it, and honestly, with not too much mana on TA, not in a position to be able to contest, can't leave PA on her own on this bottom side, so Rapido really isn't incentivized to move up here either. This should be pretty free for them.
And going for a easy pickup. You don't want to deal with the Brew Split at this point because TA just easily dies from the AoE dot damage coming through from that. They were looking for the PA, but Gabby took the gateway to the other side knowing what was heading his direction, and will even be gifted the tier 1 tower.
He's that Spidey sense, man, he's doing a great job to be able to figure this one out.
They are looking to fight here in the bottom lane to deny the tower damage coming in. Rapido has Arena if he wants to throw it out. JG seeing if he can find an avenue to take a fight here. Zip comes in though from Ken, who gets aggressive on towards Cuckoo. But they're gonna back off on the rest of the team. Brew Split comes out and bye-bye, says Tusk.
He's 2 points Shadow Word, so he's going to be A-OK. Poor Gabby had his courier next to the Dire secret shop because he was farming there previously, so couldn't get his cornucopia, had to back off and just walk to the secret shop itself. But I mean, overall, not looking horrible for Ivory, right? They've got the kill advantage, they've got very slight XP lead, I think. Net worth is dead even right now across the board. Mainly off the back of a slight lead coming through from the Skywrath Mage, but I'm going to need to see them look to try and get a little bit more active as soon as Sky hits level 6. Not quite at that point yet, but with this stack being taken up by Kato, should be able to soak just enough to be able to now make plays with the rest of the team, and there we go. Even just dropping a Sentry Ward to make sure that Gabby's not in a position to be able to just get an extra camp's worth of farm. 2-man smoke gank. Would love to be able to catch this PA, but not when he's that close to the tower. It might body block this this hard camp while they're hanging around.
Towards mid. Drake gonna get caught. Ken with the haste rune secured right in front of the puck. Silence comes out, killed, secured. Arena gets dropped onto the Brewmaster so he can get the split. Well, he's still gonna get caught completely inside the split. As yeah, there was something about the Earthband. It didn't have BKB anymore.
Yeah, it's just got very high magic resist and everything other resist.
Ken jump in onto Cuckoo as a lot of damage comes out with that haste. So you don't need to zip around. You can easily pump out the damage. They find a second kill in the mid lane. And that is a great move coming out from Ivory, immediately turning this towards the tier 1 tower mid.
Doing his best to just try and shove that wave out as quickly as possible, but siege creep, it's gonna live. Even that flag bearer creep still sitting alive right now, but even without the Blightstone, able to take this tower out. And again, this is what I wanted to see coming out from Ivory. Just more on the front foot. Use your comfort heroes as much as possible.
JG is going to be finishing up the Spirit Vessel instead of going for like that Radiance Rush that most of the Brewmasters go for. Wind Ranger, let's see, they're just finishing up their first boots. Items, no Guardian Greaves coming out from Ken, interestingly enough. So far this time around they are, Gabby though does get caught out trying to TP back to base. Mystic Flare, easy pickup there for the Skywrath Mage, and that is not really a death you can afford considering it's going to delay that Battle Fury even more.
Yeah, I mean, they're pinging out. Do they have vision here? But we placed a sentry down. That can't be the case, but it's actually just out of range inside of the dire jungle for being able to spot out Gabby. I mean, it's one of the advantages, right, of taking out a enemy's tier 1 tower is that you get a bunch of extra camps to be able to farm, but Gabby, being Gabby, just maybe went a little bit too far forward, too close to the tier 2 tower, and Ken, he went a little bit too close to that room once. He actually gets caught out instead of being the one to bait in Armel, so nice little kill there for them to be able to claim.
Yeah,
and it is available, but Puck not really in a position to die. Especially, I mean, they dropped the rock as well, so done a little bit of damage here into this. Maybe they're just waiting for Rapido to even use his spells to try and clear out this golem, and then they're still just going to go on Armel. I mean, power shot's being channeled up right now.
Yeah, the Tusk is nearby, but still not level 6, so no Walrus Punch coming out. TPs, they do have the Skywrath that could TP in. TA technically, but Kato definitely doesn't want to and also shouldn't TP towards mid if they are going to go in for a fight here.
I mean, he'll have no mana if he does. So
yeah.
No real way for him to be able to assist with that. I'd say this game, the mid tier 1 tower isn't that important for Ivory. Like, it's not really protecting Roshan. It's, I mean, I guess ancient stacks, but you've still got a tier 1 tower bottom to be able to protect that's fully healthy.
Cuckoo on the run. His golem not going to get taken down because he had the Shadow Word healing on the Cuckoo Warlock, so kept it alive. Power shot almost takes down Teehee. Armel is looking for a random hit, but won't be able to get the connection. And yeah, indeed, Brewmaster ready for the Primal Split. Is he actually just going to completely ignore the Ags? The Radiance is just going to go for the Ags instead.
Yep. I like it. You know, you can't get too greedy across the board, right? You've already got a PA that's going to be taking up a lot of farm. You got to be a hero that does something, and well, that's certainly a hero that does something around his ultimate for sure. Of course, there is the assumption that you might be a little bit weak outside of those timings, but still, just having the ability to make the max level a little bit higher, of course, reduces the cooldown on the Primal Split as well. Feels really nice. Good God, that's a lot of creeps.
That's quite a lot of farm for heroes that tend to not be the greatest at clearing Ancients. But in combination with that max level Cinderbrew, they do have quite a decent amount of magic damage. Obviously, Gabby is looking at his team like, oh, why are you doing this to me? But if the TA saw that stack, TA would easily clear it, so you kind of have to remove it out of the equation.
Does mean that you've now got Witchblade up on Armel, so going to be very nice. I mean, across the board, honestly, right? Just good amount of damage being dealt out onto the Storm. A way to be able to break a few of those refraction charges feels really nice too. No one as yet has claimed the Wisdom Shrine on Playtime, but they really want to get aggressive around this mid-tier 1 tower. They want to try and take it away. Will they just wait for the rock for 30 seconds? Maybe. Or maybe they feel like they can play around the siege creep instead and use the rock for an actual team fight rather than just dropping it to be able to take a tower.
The Yeah, they probably will just take the tower in mid on that puck slowly but surely. Has to be careful, of course, of the Skywrath Mage. But, I mean, you kind of need to have the Wind Ranger at least a bit close to fear off the Dire team if you are going to go for that move. Because their tower push is quite weak on the Radiant side. They have about the Golem drop and the Brew Split if you want to drop the Brew Split for that. Obviously, in ultra late game, when you see like the Brewmasters with the Aghanim Scepter plus Refresher, it's a different story, but that is going to take quite some time until you get to that pushing power on the Brewmaster. And I think Demolish also on the Earth Panda has been nerfed in the recent patch by a little bit, where it was a little bit too OP, so now it's slightly less so. Oh, Armel.
Mid lane.
Psionic Trap.
Looking for the Yules, although he's just playing it. Oh, still catches him.
And there's a nice control play. Storm Zip in. Armel is dead. Zip out immediately on towards Igon. Going for Cuckoo. The Warlock is left to die. They find 2 big kills and immediately go for at least a 2-stack Ancient Camp with the other neutral camp nearby. And yeah, this is why they cleared out that Ancient Camp previously. As otherwise that would have been a lot of net worth loss, even though there is a 2k net worth lead here for Ivory, with Kato being top net worth, has the Dragon Lance, has the Bling Dagger on the TA available, is going for that Deso next, and is going to start to hurt really hard.
They're hitting this tier 1 tower. They did not take the Wisdom Shrine yet on Playtime, so that is still available in there if someone did want to check. Of course, you would assume by the 16-minute mark a team of their caliber would have taken it, but they were just trying to get active elsewhere. But Ivory don't know that.
Yeah, maybe Kato. Oh, puck is pretty close to the shrine. As Kato is going to TP right back. JG has a cloak picked up on the Brewmaster. So a very defensive game coming out from the Brewmaster as he's looking to build the pipe.
They sent the illusion runes into the Wisdom, so they know that that's available now. Storm Illusion scouted it out. They want to try and catch up puck one more time, and they will.
Spear connection.
TP's coming in.
Dream Coil, get the catch onto Rupido. JG chasing him down. And that Mars is slowed down to almost a dead stop. Taken down. They will find a 4-kill streak there for Armel, who, after the 3 deaths this game, definitely needs a little bit of a pick-me-up.
In the meantime, Ken pushing mid. I like the fact that they immediately disengaged when that all was happening. It's just about creating that bait, but what it results in is Gabby actually being the one to pick up the shrine, so gets himself a nice little level boost there. What's the level sitch looking like? Pretty even across the board, I would say. Most of the time you would expect to see a TA with a much more convincing level lead at this point, but still top of the net worth charts, 400 gold away from his Desolator, and really all of that play around the top side was just about a few things, right? 1, getting down vision. 2, taking the mid and top tier 1 towers, because Roche is still top for the next 2.5 minutes, and they've got a TA that's about to finish up that Desolator. They want to try and take that as quickly as possible.
Especially with the Tormentor up in 2.5 minutes as well. So there's no real rotation coming out from Playtime to defend it. If they lose a fight in the area, TPs are very long and very far away. So if you take Roche at 19-minute mark, you can immediately move up for the Tormentor and then immediately go for the Shrine. And again, that's like a trifecta of game control.
I mean, Mars is walked down division right now, but I mean, he's very close to his own Blink Dagger as well, about 150 gold, so they should be actually have like the perfect storm of items coming through here. Desolator on the TA, Blink Dagger on the Tusk, Blink Dagger on the Mars. Feels really good for their positioning right now.
Yeah, a little bit worried here for the Brewmaster, because he didn't go for that Radiance build. He is falling further and further behind in farm. It just isn't as amazing of a farm hero without the Radiance.
Just takes one good team fight though.
True.
Yeah, there's that smoke. There's that smoke coming through. I mean, TA needs to join these boys. I'm a little concerned that he's kind of moving down towards the bottom side of the map. That's not where the objectives are, you know? Like, maybe they're expecting someone to be farming down here, but probably not going to be the case, considering the tier 1 tower was taken. But how is he actually going to be able to join the rest of his boys? I guess the tier 1 tower mid is still there, but I don't know. I would have felt a lot more confident with them, you know, walking together with this TA. 3 Blink Daggers plus the Desolator. It was pretty devastating.
Yeah,
Maybe
they're gonna look to take the tier 2 tower bottom instead.
Or at the very least force a TP down here, you know? Like, then they can go into the Roche Pit with no real opposal. And likewise, Playtime, they're just looking to... Well, they're going to need to do something. They can't just let this tower go for free. And they push the creep wave in. They're going to take the mid tier 1 tower, which of course makes things a little easier for them in terms of like Roche contesting.
Oh, Tormentor fight coming up soon. Cuckoo, smoke breaks. Ken with the Invis rune walks away. They do know that smoke did break, but they do have the Dire ward at the ready as well.
They see him.
Zip in, going for the Warlock. Dream Coil missing the target here. Ken on that Storm takes a lot of damage regardless, but the Arena catch comes out. Nice Yule's dodge from the puck. Bruce Split was used. And this is the problem here against the Mars. That Arena catch and TA with a couple of hits. The Brewmaster is almost dead. He only has that Fire Panda left standing, and that's the entire split just gone. He comes back alive. There's going to be the control in onto the Warlock. Wants to drop the Golem, but is interrupted. Mystic Flare gets tanked up for quite a decent amount. But they will get the control in onto the Storm with the Shackle. Is going to be able to get the zip out of there. Chase in for more. Kato is just pumping out damage on the side.
Everyone's
gets rid of the Golem. The puck is going to get silenced up. Taken down. They're going to
finally.
Kato gets the blink out because he didn't take any damage as well. So a 2-for-2 trade, but PA still hurts like crazy. Has Kato shackled up. JG is here with the dots to get rid of those refraction. And DJ will not even be taken down in the end. Big, fat, juicy team fight there for Playtime. As the Ken is trying to cut the creep wave, but they even fortify it for good measure.
Yoink Wisdom. Do it, brother. You know you want to, but nah, he's just going to get out of dodge and leave it for Cuckoo to be the one to pick up. A nice little win coming there for Playtime, right? They lose their tower. Sorry, tower's already gone. They lose a few of their important heroes, but more importantly, Gabby's getting involved. Gabby is really coming into his own in this game. He's got the Manta style. He is... I feel like it was 2 or 3 minutes ago, DK, where I was saying he was level 13. He's level 17 now on this PA, and only going to go from strength to strength.
Yep.
They've got Gale Force as well, so a nice way to be able to snap the coil, potentially.
Yeah, it's getting pretty obnoxious to deal with. Puck also, once he gets the Blink Dagger, a lot harder to get that control in on the puck. Warlock spotted out, zip in onto Gabby. They really want to kill off the PA, who does get a little bit of crit damage. Heal comes out onto the PA. Can Gabby get away? They're not really doing that much damage. Arena does get dropped. Mystic Flare as well as trying to stay alive. They get a 3-man Dream Coil with the Fatal Bonds on top as well, but is there going to be enough damage? Not with Kato coming in. On the side, puck controlled up by Ken. Big zip comes out. Armel is not long for this world, as they will find the puck as a last one down. And the big difference maker here is last fight, PA came in last. This fight, he was down first.
No mech there either from DJ. Wasn't quite having his TP off cooldown. So not quite able to protect. Speaking of DJ getting caught out here by the Mars, I'm just not sure if they've got that follow-up damage, but of course they do with the, well, I was about to say the Ancient Seal, but he turns around to use the Gale Force and ends up getting himself killed as a result.
Well, that's quite a significant engagement there. Roche indeed, right next to a Arcane Rune for the Storm Spirit as well to pick up. So, what previously was a bad fight now turns into a massive victory on their part to take back control of the game. Next item for Ken is going to be that Witchblade. After the BKB is now secured, and Witchblade will be hard to deal with for both the PA and the Wind Ranger. As that True Strike hit will always be obnoxious.
For sure.
And they just get out.
Pretty decent timing on that, but then looking to try and get some of these stragglers here. Do they have any vision up? No, I don't think so. Some spidey senses coming out there from Ken. Just on the retreat, able to avoid that high ground. Maybe getting yelled at by his team to say, bro, we're in a good spot. Don't just give it all away by walking up onto that high ground. But he does have the BKB to be able to play around with, so maybe he can afford a few more of these ballsy plays.
It's still going to be problematic once that PA has the BKB available, as the Dire have Aura Sponge as their only real big BKB piercing tool. Puck is going to go for the Blink. I honestly wouldn't mind it if after Blink he gets a BKB as well on the Puck, because you also have to deal with soon, I don't know if TA has it flying yet, but that TA Shard with the silence is going to be really hard to deal with for the Puck. You use yourself, there's a nuke trap underneath you that silence you briefly, and at that point you just get overwhelmed. That's dangerous. Gabby though needs some help, tries to dodge it, gets the blink to the side, zipping deep, going in for Gabby. He's going to get caught. Golem drops,
nice
4-man Fatal Bonds comes out, and there's going to be a Mystic Flare controlling in onto the
Gabby.
PA, and the PA will falter as they are just a little bit too slow to get the puck in the middle of the fray there. Bruce Split was used, but there's just no damage output. Speaking of which,
what are you doing here?
TA just walks back in. There is no BKB available on the Storm Spirit either. Dream Coil.
There's no Blink Dagger on the TA.
Shackle Shot, drag him back as well. They don't have that PA for the time being. Spirit Connection comes out. DJ is survivable for a decent amount, but not long enough. JG running into the mix. 2v4 is the fight here. They get the Warlock back with the 4-man Fatal Bonds. TP attempt onto the Storm Spirit will be controlled up. Drake ticking down to the side as Ken will falter, and somehow they win that fight in a big way in response with a massive misplay from TA.
Cuckoo is the way. I thought he might have been a tiny bit slow on the Chaotic Offering, but what it meant is that everyone actually committed into the center of that team fight. 4-man Fatal Bonds coming through, the all chat coming out as well, and yeah, crazy good. Even just his involvement when he respawned, you know, it's early enough into the game that he died early on into the fight, respawned, got another Fatal Bonds off, another heal, a Glimmer Cape, to be able to just pick off the scraps, essentially. You know, especially when it's a fight right next to their base. They were just way too deep, and I don't even want to say they didn't cut their losses, but they didn't take their winnings, let's say, and retreat with it, or at the very least just hit the tier 2 tower. Yeah,
that TA walking right back into the entire team as his team was disengaging, so it was left behind. It looked very dangerous though when they went for a 4 versus 2 fight in the middle of everything, but JG on that Brewmaster, very tanky as well with that pipe, with the Spirit Vessels, going for that Aghanim Scepter. Also has the Defiant Shell for good measure with the Unleashed capability on it, so this Brewmaster is actually quite obnoxious in terms of his damage output when it comes to right-clicking, even though he only has defensive items.
Solid amount of armor now as well, with the Gunpowder Gauntlet, with the Tough enchantment that he's just finished up. A quick pick off onto the Puck. Alright, don't really have her to be able to play around with now, but we do have a tier 2 tower, excuse me, on the top side that they're looking to try and force a glyph out of Ivory if they can, or at the very least TP's back, just to stop this aggression that they've got going, because things haven't changed. You know, Gabby, he's got the BKB now to be able to play around with, so I'm really expecting these next fights to be unless you are literally 100 to 0ing him, he's surviving. He's going absolutely bonkers.
It's really a completely different game for the Puck this time around. Compared to the last game where there was no stun whatsoever, this time they've got pretty nasty ones. BKB piercing one as well if you would go that route, but the silences from the Skywrath Mage and the TA are just going to be so incredibly hard to deal with this game, because one Yules is not enough to get rid of all the debuffs.
I'm surprised at how long this Observer Ward has stayed alive inside of the Playtime base as well, just giving complete vision of where Cuckoo and DJ are trying to play. They know everyone else is, all the cores are out on the map, up for the picking.
JG also in the meantime does have a gem of insight, so is able to clear out some of those wards. As Drake Tusk will go for the TP attempt, Yules interrupts it, and the Tusk will fall. A free kill there for Armel coming in, and I mean, he is on 6 deaths on the Puck right now. That is really not where he wants to be. As Rapido in mid is gonna get spotted. Yeah, okay. Gabby just wanted to say hi there.
His boys behind him.
Radiant are scanning.
And the BKB.
They might be able to get a bunch of these wards picked off as well. Oh, just not quite getting close enough to the observer ward on the right-hand side. So despite having that gem on the Brewmaster, they haven't gotten insane value out of it just yet, just clearing out a few sentries at this point in time.
Yeah,
Of course, very important against a TA just to be able to take out some traps.
I'm getting a little bit worried about the Brewmaster's net worth here. It's just falling further and further.
They smoked under a ward just now, by the way,
Yeah.
so they could be looking to set up on this. Just instantly blinking back to safety.
Ken also has a shield rune on the storm, so fairly survivable. Rapido TP's back towards mid, where the Dire team is grouped up. Sky is even building up a Scythe of Ice, and is about 2,800 gold away from it, and that's going to be really hard for the Puck to deal with once that comes in the game. This is a Tormentor fight brewing up, and the winner of this upcoming engagement will get themselves a free Tormentor in about a minute and a half.
Yeah, still a minute and a half away, and they're actually rotating away from where it will potentially be spawning. Maybe just trying to put a little bit of pressure on this bottom side of the map, but well, it does just give up that space to probably the better lineup at being able to contest it. They're gonna go through this, and they didn't place down any vision, so they don't know that this rotation is actually coming.
Oh, DJ. Spear gonna miss the target. There is an arena catch coming through. They get the two-man control. Bruce Split comes out. They're gonna go for the TA. TA takes a lot of damage. Can PA get on top of him? Puck goes forward. The backline chase. Gato dropping low. The Fatal Bomb's damage is also immense. They will lose their TA and the Tusk. And now Rapido will be caught out. Had a moment there to blink on the Mars, but a little bit too slow on the fingers, as they will find 3 kills. Could take the Tormentor soon enough. And we'll also know when Roche will be respawning, but they're marking up the tier 1 tower first and foremost. Yeah, that TA was just being ran at by the entire Playtime team.
Can we have a look at the fight recap? Because, again, it was Cuckoo doing the work. It was a 4-man Fatal Bonds with the Bruce Split going, with everything going on with a Chaotic Offering. Just crazy good work being done by him to be able to be in the right place at the right time. Some of it's luck, but if it happens enough times,
luck is a skill.
There's only so many things. Exactly.
You don't accidentally win a tournament, or well, sometimes you accidentally win a match, but considering Playtime's matches so far today and Cuckoo's performance today, there's definitely no luck involved in these.
They will be in a position to be able to secure this Tormentor. Who we got this one for? Could still go to Brew, Warlock, or Puck at this point in time. Probably be happiest with... I would have been happiest with Brew.
Yeah, Warlock's
we'll take it.
Very much in trouble. No, Cuckoo! He just got a shard as well.
Oh well. You win some, you lose some.
Yep.
They see where Puck's farming right now. Are they going to be able to get a quick pick off onto him, though? Is the real question. Not enough boys backing him up for this point in time, so wouldn't hold it against them if they just tried to shove out this lane instead and play around Roshan. I mean, it's basically been the maximum possible respawn time, so they know it's coming up anytime soon, and, well, it's going to respawn basically just as TA gets in there. Not using the double melt strike, just wanting to slam into it as quickly as possible, and there's 3 boys playing on the bottom side of the map. They could use the power shot for some extra vision here.
Yeah, they're looking to pick it up. As can they even stop this right now? Roche does get secured.
Backline.
They will get the catch onto Gabby and didn't pop the BKB in time. Manta style BKB is going to try and run away from that fight. Gets the blink strike to the creeps. And Drick is going to try and chase him down even further, zip in from the storm. But the bash immediately onto Ken, who's out of mana and has to back off. Skywrath Mage bought back for this. Kato is dropping low with that Aegis. Has, of course, the MKB, but is ticking down in his meld form as the Bruce Split is about to end. He's going to get spotted. A lot of damage from those Bruce Split right clicks come out, but they did get the TA Aegis out of there at the very least.
They did. Costs a buyback on the Skywrath Mage just for a bit of that intimidation factor. I almost thought Drick might be looking to go for that pick off onto the PA if she went into the lane, but Boss Cuckoo was in position just saying, look, back off. I got the Shadow Word, healed himself up a little bit. He even fed him over a Lotus just to make sure that there wasn't any further gank attempts onto the PA. But just a little bit of indecision there, you know, not wanting to go into the pit, despite the fact that they had pretty good vision through DJ's power shots.
Yeah, they do have that Aegis. Can they really make the most use out of it? There is an MKB on the TA, so right now PA and Wind Range both have to be very careful of just getting blown up if they get the control, when they get the control actually. Because, I mean, Gabby almost got deleted. Once that Satanic is up, he does have a lot more man fight potential in these engagements where he can just keep on healing against his opponent, something that TA tends to not have, because TA relies essentially on refraction instances in the late game.
Just having a look at some of the bruising damage that they've got to be able to play around with now. Him Scepter as well, right? The fire bruising doing 234 damage. That is not too shabby at all.
Yeah.
Might still be vulnerable to getting ganked though.
The text is so large on the third spell, I can't even see the title.
Yeah, he doesn't have the name.
I always like, what does it all do? Get away! I don't need the patch notes at this stage. It's not like it's like Arc Warden. I don't necessarily know exactly what it does because there's just too much text.
Storm. He's got a shield rune. And
Let's
he
get the
zips
zip
on
away.
through everyone.
They're not going to be able to find the catch on towards the Storm on the other side of the map. JG though.
Brew has to be careful here.
Yeah,
And he's
it's a
able to
scary
intimidate
position to be in.
By being himself. It was a 3v1 and the one wins out.
Value right there.
Would love to hit level 20 though, having that lower cooldown on the primal split. Not going for the refresher straight up. Wants to go into that Aeon disc, basically just guaranteeing that he's going to be able to get off this this ulti. But
Storm Spirits,
I don't think it would be...
In this patch, I've
be the
seen
worst
a lot of
nullifier
Storm
game.
Spirits go for the Nullifier, which against the Radiant team, like, it's a pretty good Nullifier game to secure on the Storm Spirit. I think that might actually be a very
regen rune.
much needed pickup soon.
I wonder if Storm's just saying, let's go, let's ball. I've got
that
regen, I
regen.
got a few seconds left on the shield rune, trying to potentially pop a primal split. Not going to put himself in that vulnerable position though. Still opens up a lot of space for the top lane to be pushed in, so last outer tower now, just about to be taken. And despite everything that's going on, would you say that it would be a 5k net worth lead to playtime? Because that's what it is.
No,
50-50 win probability essentially.
with that Aegis up, they definitely do fear the Aegis and the Storm Spirit's outgoing damage coming in. They're trying to cut the creep waves as much as possible, but they're so incredibly spread out that it's going to take forever for JG to join his team if a fight breaks out. They have a TP location, and he is slowly heading into that direction.
I think again they're just trying to... I mean, they really haven't gotten big value out of this Aegis, you know? Like, he's farming up a little bit, he's getting into that next item, which, I mean, it's basically 6-slotted. Swift Blink. The next one still doesn't have that Aghanim shard for himself either. Even just the vision that it provides, let alone the silence.
Armel almost got the catch on again. They will find the Tusk. Rapido with the BKB Arena drop Golem in response to make sure no spear comes out to catch out the puck. Who's going to use himself away? Can he stay away? He's not going to get stunned up onto the tree. Has the blink to the side. Puck is going to disengage. They're surrounding the TA. That's the Aegis pop.
What?
15 seconds were left. But the puck is making so many obnoxious plays there. They don't get the control in. Counter pops the BKB. He's going to get bashed up by Gabby and is on the run right now. Chase down Dream Coil onto 3 coming out
what
from
a
the puck.
shackle.
And the TA is no more with the Fatal Bonds as well on the Dire Heroes. They're in trouble. Snowball save attempt for half a second as they tick down. Rapido should be chased down. Actually, might get the blink out to safety as they find the Tusk instead. And... oh, Armel almost gets the catch as well, but it will be a big fat team fight. And Armel, you know, he's had a pretty rough game, but dodging every single possible spell there.
I don't know how. I don't know how he did that.
That was magic. That was, like, it puts the TA in a 1v17 situation where he's just surrounded by enemies and could not do it. He immediately comes back to life after the Aegis, pops BKB, gets bashed instantly by the PA.
Pretty sure Ken just missed the entire creep wave as well when he went for that really long zip, and he actually has TP available. He's gonna get caught out here.
Well,
Nearly level 25 on the puck as well, so I wouldn't even hate seeing Armel just play for that a little bit further. Trying to
getting
into
2 sets of
that,
racks. You have the
they are
level
indeed.
15 on Warlock, so you get the attack speed buff. Pushing power, baby.
DJ was so good in that last fight. He got the perfect shackle shot off to be able to stop the snowball save from coming in. That's one of the things that happens with that fatal bonds as well, right? You don't have the ability to just have your blink dagger available at all times.
They have the Abyssal now on the PA. Can he get the standing BKB cast off? BKB jump back in onto as the TA. Zip in, zip out. Dream Coil onto 2. They're going to go back in onto Rapido. Pop the BKB, trying to stay alive. No damage really taken on the Radiant side, as they will find Drick taken down. Tusk is dead for 60 seconds. Bruce Blade going on, controlling up the TA on the side, and Kato needs help right now from his team. Bruce Blade ends. Power shot comes in. DJ with the execution. And they will find the TA dead for 65. Buyback going for DJ. Someone's a little bit tilted right there. As a Fatal Bonds connection onto 3 heroes. Zip in, zip out by Ken. Trying to get that regen going and staying alive. But nonetheless, yeah, that TA buyback into trying to one-shot the win range. It felt like a bit of a tilty moment.
Bit of a desperation play for sure. They were in a really solid position all throughout this game, but they've done it many times now. Been in an even or losing position, and just find a way to be able to find that key pick-off, to be able to sneak a little bit of extra, probably have any right to. Ken, once again, doing his best to just try and shove out this wave as much as possible. And he will get away as a result of it, but again, doesn't clear the wave. And it's a 40-minute creep wave as well. Double siege creep available. No glyph available for the next 3 minutes either. So
level 25 puck.
Yeah, there's really nothing that they can do to contest into this. I mean, you've got the chaotic offering available on the Warlock. All abilities are available.
Bottom,
BKB
they're gonna get the jump
seconds.
in. And Storm, yeah, with that Dream Coil, pierces BKB. Easy pickup, dead for 90 seconds. Spear comes out, but the Mystic Flare doesn't hit the mark onto Gabby, as he won't be able to take that much damage. Even still has
the Gale Force.
Jump forward onto the TA. Golem drop. They blow up the Mars. Ice Shard's block should keep the TA alive for a little bit there. Are they going for the fountain dive? I'm thinking that might be a little bit
Maybe
too much.
Maybe a little too far.
The Golems do get killed off, though.
They can very easily look to end this one, though. They're absolutely going to be testing the buyback on this Storm Spirit.
Oh, there's going to be the Spirit Arena catch attempt, but it doesn't do too much. It gets clipped to the side, and not in the fountain he goes. Buyback comes out once more, Teehee this time around, and they're still full HP, full mana on Playtime. Bruce Blitz available. They don't really fit too much. Coming in, Rupido, BKB pop. That shackle once more coming out from DJ. Beautiful stuff. Kato in the fountain. JG is going for the dive here. The Fatal Bond spread damage is immense. GG gets called, and that is Playtime really showing that they are trying to make it to Birmingham.
I mean, trying, and if they keep this up, succeeding. This was another really solid performance. This time showing that they had the ability to play from a really disadvantageous